That's like insanely big for one city. Damn. Wow. These facts really are mind blowing, as the website states. Australia has a smaller population than Tokyo metro area. It's also got the population, so the population of Australia is 24.6 million people, and the Tokyo metro area is 38.14 million people. And Australia is 500 times bigger than the Tokyo metro area. These are some really big sizes that this website's showing off. That is, I knew Australia was very kind of underpopulated by its size, because I know the UK is a lot smaller and actually has a much higher population than Australia. But I didn't realise Tokyo alone was 500 times smaller and about a third bigger. The Falkland Islands has the most sheep per capita, with only about 3,000 people. The Falkland Islands are home to approximately 500,000 sheep. A lot of sheep. I don't know what to make of that one. I'm just going to move on to the next one. One of the official anthems of the micronation of Ladonia is the sound of a stone thrown into water. I like that. That's pretty clever. All of China is on Beijing time, despite geographically spanning over 5 time zones. Yeah, I knew that one. That was kind of insane to me, because it just must be so annoying for the citizens, because I can't remember, I was reading something about the way, I don't know, just how different the weather could be, and where the sun is in the sky, work commutes and stuff. Yeah, it's just the entire same time zone throughout. It's insane. If you count overseas territories, then it is actually France, not Russia, that covers the most time zones. It covers 12. Yeah, I knew that, because France has a lot of overseas territories. Although I didn't realise it, Russia had the next most. Iceland has no army and is recognised as the world's most peaceful country. You know, it's all their volcanoes. They got other things to be scared of. They can't be making armies and going to war. They need to focus on love and not covering everything they own. Oh yeah, I'm definitely not pronouncing that. Is one of the facts on here is the longest town name in Europe is a town in Wales. I'm sure you've probably heard of it, but I'm not even going to begin to pronounce that. So, South Africa is also called the Rainbow Nation because it has 11 official languages. I didn't know that. I'm fairly sure, I may be wrong on this, but I was fairly sure that South Africa spoke quite a lot of English. I believe. Don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm fairly sure they speak quite a lot of English. But I didn't realise they speak that many languages. Afghanistan. I didn't think Afghanistan still. I can't remember what the flag looks like. The highest drivable road in the world is Kardangla in Tibet. The elevation of Kardangla is 5,359 meters or 12,582 feet. About 70% of lightning bolts occur in the tropics. Lightning almost never strikes in the north or south poles. Weather is so insane. I love weather so much. I'd love to study weather. It's such a cool thing. I was like looking at the clouds today, and it was just so insane. Sounds so stupid. We can do 5 more. The most Instagram cities in the these questions are so badly written. The most Instagram cities, plural, in the world is London. That's not a cities. London is not cities. That's not how that works. Monaco has the highest life expectancy in the world with an average of 89.52 years. Gotta move to Morocco, you know, the ridiculously expensive, micronation off the coast of France. Tasmania has the cleanest air in all the world. That's just, because they got the Tasmanian devils, or tigers, whatever they are. That's the whole reason. In Australia, there are more kangaroos than there are people. See, this is what, the whole thing of Australia being underpopulated. They got more kangaroos than people. That's stupid. The national anthem of Spain has no words. Wow. These facts are kind of mediocre, I would say. I tried to look for a few different websites, but this was the only one that had a reasonable amount of good facts. But now I'm reading these are terrible. Norway has a land border with Russia and it is 193 kilometers long. Okay, thank you. Antarctica is roughly the size of the United States and Mexico combined. We're missing out. You know what I say? I say colonize Antarctica. I say we build refineries, mines. I say we mine the ice. I say we mine the ice and we turn it into ice buildings. That's the plan. That's the plan right there. The world's longest road tunnel is in Norway and it's 24.5 kilometers long. 15 miles. 80% of the animals in Australia are unique to Australia. The animals are some of the most interesting in the world, from koalas to cuddly marsupials to a huge variety of birds. I knew a lot of animals in Australia when they did Australia, but I didn't realise most of the animals were just native to them. On the same subject